Hey, turning my mic on helps. Yes, you're going to hear a little bit of a sound in the background. That is an air conditioning unit because this time of the day, so I'm in the midst of moving my office out of the basement where it's nice and cool this time of the year. Uh, and at this time of the day, the sun stares right into this window and makes this office extra nice and warm. And by extra nice and warm, I really mean that extra nice and warm. So, trying a new setup and layout and see what we can do that's a little different. But we're still going to go over news and stuff. I have a very. So, main reason I moved my office up here sounds strange, but my cat, eh, he's nearly 15 years old. He doesn't like going downstairs. So, I made the executive decision to move my office up here so that this beast could spend more time near me. He doesn't necessarily like to be on me, but he definitely likes to be near me. Oh, 21 pounds of I must visit father. Oh, there you go, buddy. So, he's got his own chair right next to me. And he's going to love my microphone arm. So, yeah, I'm still trying to figure out where things go. This is going to be weird because my camera's over there, but my monitor's here. So, I'll look at you, but I'm going to be reading most of the time. And let me know how you like it. We'll try to figure it out and get the setup running a little more gooder, I guess. This is going to be interesting. Okay, and if you hop in the chat and you got any issue, anything you want to say, I will try to pay attention to the chat on YouTube, Twitch, and I'm still trying to figure out how to monitor Rumble while I'm live. Okay, this first one's intriguing to me. So Mirrorscape is an augmented reality software. So not VR. VR would be a headset and you're totally immersed. Augmented reality is kind of like Pokemon Go. You can pull out your phone, you can see the Pokemon in the park or sitting on the toilet. That's one of my favorite pictures, is somebody's at a public, like a mall or something, and there's a Pokemon sitting on a toilet. But then you can catch them like in the real world environment. Kind of cool. And to save juice and everything, you can actually turn that off because otherwise you've got to get like into exact position. Well, so what Mirrorscape does is they make an overlay. So you set up your table and then they make you can set up a dungeon for your table, and then everybody that has the software can look. They can pull up their tablet or their phone and use their camera to go, oh, cool, I'm here. And it's a neat idea, but you end up with people, instead of sitting around a table playing, they're sitting around a table going, I don't know, maybe it's something that through time you could get a little more situated, but it's really awkward right now. But it's a neat idea, and I like it better than some things. So, but they just made a big announcement. So, Paizo announces that Starfinder and Pathfinder Mirrorscape content is on the way as the tabletop RPG publisher partners with the AR Virtual Tabletop. Tabletop RPG publisher Paizo has announced Starfinder and Pathfinder Mirrorscape partnership, which brings both tabletop RPGs to the augmented reality gaming platform. According to the press release shared by Mirrorscape on July 11th, so it was like last Tuesday, something like that. Paizo will be bringing its best-selling titles to Mirrorscape, allowing players and fans to bring legendary quests and gaming adventures they've enjoyed around the table to the AR world. Set to release this summer, Mirrorscape is an AR virtual tabletop that can combine digital D&D maps and miniatures. I love that. They're in an announcement about Paizo. They're like, it's a D&D. I get, this is a press release that's on their website. Mirrorscape says it'll soon launch the open beta for iOS and Android with Pathfinder and Starfinder materials available shortly after. The goal is to port Paizo's best-selling titles to Mirrorscape, allowing players and fans to bring legendary quests and gaming adventures they've enjoyed around the table to the AR world. It is neat. Like, I give them credit for trying something different. Bring the table back to virtual tabletop. I do find it funny everybody has a tablet in this photo. I guess if you have one of the foldable giant phones, it could be... Let's see. I do like that all of them have stands on their stuff. You get the idea, and like I said, they're with the announcement they're working with Paizo, so hopefully this brings the Paizo, it brings more games to. It's a new way to bring role playing games to more people, is what I hope. Let's see. And there's so Dwarven Forge, Fat Dragon Games, Hero Forge. Hero Forge would be interesting because you can make your own minis, and I guess you might be able to buy the 3D model and port it. Reaper, so you might be able to port Reaper minis, or that'd be actually really cool. Norse Foundry, which is interesting, and then Death Saves. I don't know Death Saves. Get back with North Foundry, and they want to try to help us make some cool dice, but we just don't have the funds to make cool dice. So, interesting. Okay, so late news week, we're going to get into new products, which there's a bunch of new products that are coming out. This one came out a little while ago, but I saw it on a news website and made me laugh because this weekend I finally watched The World's End, the last of the Cornetto trilogy. I'm 10 years behind on that one. But this is Barkeep on the Borderlands. So it's a pub crawl doing a Keep on the Borderlands with a background. And if you don't know the World's End, a pub crawl is the central piece of that movie. So it's like $8. It looks super cool. Looks like a lot of fun. there's there's some drastically different art styles in it. So I like this kind of fun cartoony art. This is some nice art, but this sausage mouth art, I just never been a big fan of it. Was it Steven's Universe and some other cartoons like that? I don't know. I always thought it was a subpar art style. That's just me. But yes, Barkeep on the Borderlands looks hilarious. It came out in March. I do need to acquire a copy. Let's see. So Modiphius has some new stuff that is coming out and or is up for pre-order. So this is Winter of Adam. It is for the Fallout role-playing game. And that reminds me, I got to get a hold of my Fallout GM. We're trying to get some technical bugs worked out. We got our zero session out of the way, and then we've had 2 weeks of nothing but crazy bugs and oddball work schedules. But this is new expansion for the Fallout 2D20 system, and I really do like the 2D20 system, and the Fallout world is super cool. So just more fun and expansion within that world. Let's see, then you've got their new Dream Machines. So the Dream Machines starter set is coming, it is a pre-order. It is a new interesting role-playing game setting from Modiphius, but they also have the Quick Start Guide for free in digital downloads. So if you want to know more, you can just go to their website and download the Quick Start and check out the world. So it's a really interesting world where basically the world was, ended with these giant walking robots, and everybody now lives in and around them, but there's some coming back to life. So very, very cool setting. So semi-post-apocalyptic, but there's like magic as well. Then Star Trek, they're releasing the Captain's Log solo role-playing game. So this is based on the Modiphius RPG, Star Trek RPG, but this is a solo variant, and you can get it in the original. Pardon me. Burping. You can get it in the original series, which looks like that. Come on. Next Generation, which looks like that. DS9, so Deep Space Nine, and then Discovery, which I find hilarious because every Star Trek series has been since TNG, because it used to just be Star Trek when I was a little kid. It was just Star Trek. And then when the Next Generation came out, it was Star Trek TNG, and then as more stuff came out, the original series got labeled as TOS, the original series. So when Discovery came out, I was never a big fan of Discovery. The first season, they had a main character which is not Star Trek, and then it got better, but it was more of a generic sci-fi that they tried to put Star Trek into. So everybody was picking on it, calling it Star Trek Discovery, so STD. So now when you see it listed places, everybody gets a three-letter icon, a three-letter shortening, except for Discovery. Discovery usually is just listed as Discovery. I saw some people trying to get it to listed as DSC or DIC, or none of those caught on. Too many people like, oh, you mean STD? The new Captain Pike one is actually really good. So if we had to suffer through a mediocre Discovery show to get to an awesome show like a much better show like Pike, or whatever, Brave New World, or not Brave New World, but this is neat because it's a solo game, so I like this. Roll to select an era. Roll to select a ship class. Assign trait by Potley. Choose a number of ship talents equal to scale, and assign a name and registry. Oh, nice! You better see. Now this is in chat. Someone says TNG. They said I've been getting into solo games, and solo games right now are pretty hot. I'm really happy to see solo RPGs as a thing, and because of COVID, there's a lot of people that are also making couples games, duels. We haven't really nobody's really necessarily settled on a cool freaking name for them. I guess duels, because you got solos. I'm loving those. 'Cause you had a lot of couples that were locked down, and one played RPGs, and the other one's like, so can we play those? Which I'm super excited when I meet people that they're getting a significant other into their hobby, because it's a great thing when you can share your hobby. So on the Star Trek note, for Star Trek Adventures from Modiphius, they just released it for free. Star Trek Adventures Brief PDF 0012 Starfleet Academy. So occasionally they release cool little Star Trek Adventures for the Star Trek Adventures game. So they release these little briefs, and it's just quick little thing you can print out and play with. It's nice. This one entertained me because this is Cathedral of the Undying, because I've been a big fan of Dungeon Crawl Classics, and since the Call of Cthulhu stuff popped up into the public domain, we've been seeing a bunch of stuff. So somebody's doing a Cthulhu-esque adventure in the Dungeon Crawl world. At least that's what it was described to me to me. So, and MSRP $9.99, their price $9.95. You save 4 cents. Noble Knight has most everything listed. I don't know who owns Noble Knight, but I do suggest 100% always go through your local game store. Your friendly local hood game store, your friendly local neighborhood game store is your best place to support. Even if you have to wait a couple weeks or you have to spend a couple extra bucks. It is by far and away one of the best places to support if you are into gaming, whether it be tabletop miniatures, role-playing games, or Magic the Gathering. And with that, we missed the week that it was announced, but through Wizards Coast, you can no longer buy the physical books standalone. They are only going to be available in a bundle with the digital product. So if you buy because they're $10 more expensive now, and then there's another charge on top where you have to buy the digital version. So if you want Dungeons & Dragons stuff and you don't want to do D&D Beyond, the only way to get it without the D&D Beyond tacked on as a mandatory thing is through your friendly local neighborhood game store. WotC not being cool like Goodman Games. If you buy anything Dungeon Crawl Classics, if you open it up, there's your code to get your PDF. They include the PDF with everything. I mean, if you're paying, especially on the D&D side, if you're paying $60 for a poorly made book, maybe the digital version should be included for free. If Goodman Games can do it at their core book being $25, WotC can do it at $60 for a considerably smaller book. So, if you know Kobold Press is they're releasing the Tome of Beast 1 It's a re-release for 2023. So it's a ton of 5e monsters. It's pretty awesome. I think they made it up to Toma Beast fives. So there's 11 new monsters and a whole bunch of like corrections and erratas and stuff. And there's like more tables. So they released a limited print version, which looks really cool, and their limited print stuff is really nice. Then they also released the standard book, so you get it in a giant. How many pages? 432 pages, and then let's see. I was hoping I'd be able to find it right away. But they also are releasing a pocket edition, which they don't. They just have the standard image of it, so I don't know what the pocket edition looks like. Actually, let me see if I can find the pocket edition, because it has our dimensions here. 8 3/4 by 11 1/4 by 1 inch. I'm sure it's more than 1 inch thick. It's more than 1 inch thick. We'll look around my giant chug. Let's see. There we go. Pocket edition. Oh, the pocket edition is only $25. Nice. Okay. Weirdly, it gives the exact same dimensions. What's the difference on the pocket edition? I don't know. I don't know what makes the pocket edition pocketable. Go here. Limited edition with PDFs, hardcover, pocket edition. What is the pocket edition? Man, it's been 17 years since the first Kobold, since this was first published. I don't want to see all the monsters. I want to see the physical. I want to see what the pocket edition looks like. Well, I owe you guys information on what the heck the pocket edition. Yeah. Lost my chat window. That's not. Where am I? There we go. Let's see. Somebody said WotC is killing game stores with D&D Beyond and zero store support. So WotC, okay. So on the Kobold Press stuff, Paizo said. So they said Paizo was doing the their pocket edition was soft cover and cheaper. So that might be exactly what the Toma Beast soft cover, because instead of pocket edition, soft cover would have been a better name for it. But I remember Paizo, a lot of companies were doing the pocket edition. They were a smaller format. But what killed me especially with Paizo, is they just made it a smaller format, so it was a nightmare to read. Some companies, the pocket edition, they pull the content out and make it, considerably smaller and a pocket edition. So maybe they are just doing a softcover version is their pocket edition. which I would just call it softcover. So comment was WotC is killing stores with D&D Beyond and zero store support unless they sell lots of Magic. So here's the thing: in 2021, Wizards of the Coast made their total sales was 970 million, if I remember correct. And of that, 690 million of it was Magic the Gathering. At one point, Wizards totally tried to pull out of stores and just go, hey, everybody play online. We've got Magic Online and Arena. And their sales dropped massively. Like, in less than a quarter, they changed course because they couldn't afford to cut Magic out. They've done the same thing with D&D, but D&D is such a small chunk of their profits because so if you because let's see, it's 220 million or something like that, or not even that. It's like 170 million or 180 million or something is the profit of all other Wizards of the Coast product, which is D&D, and they've got other games and stuff they still sell. So when they started 5th edition, it was before they launched 5th edition, they sold off all their printing stuff. They sent printing overseas. They've done everything they can do to get out of printing books for the last 10 years. So they don't care about supporting game stores with D&D because they see almost nothing back on it in comparison. They could kill off D&D and WotC wouldn't care because the majority of their everything is Magic the Gathering. That they keep doing D&D because it gives them it does make them money. It makes them a lot of money. And when we talk about role-playing games, D&D is 80% of the industry, and D&D is just a tiny fraction of what Magic the Gathering is in sales. It's funny because people keep saying that Hasbro is gonna sell WotC, and they're not. There was a point a couple years ago when they probably could have or should have. But we would have been in ugly situations still with them. They are like 50-50 in their sales. So like Hasbro and WotC, Hasbro sells a ton of stuff, but most of the Hasbro stuff has much smaller markups than Magic the Gathering does. The markup on D&D, the cost of printing and shipping a book and selling it for now $60 is your markup isn't your margins aren't that great compared to Magic the Gathering, where you're selling that pack for $5 now, and the cards cost you pennies to make. So by the time the box gets to the store, WotC has paid a fraction of what they're going to make. Their markup on Magic is insane compared to everything else. So D&D Beyond, will it kill off what we do at local game stores? I don't think so. I think you're going to have the people that go play that, but you're going to have a lot more people that can just move on to a new system. Look how many people jumped ship when at the beginning of the year. You had companies that were selling out of their annual their entire warehouse. Paizo, what is it? Catalyst, Green Ronin, the company that makes Call of Cthulhu. Why can't I think of them all of a sudden? Everybody I know in the business was doing really well and selling like crazy. But the funny thing is, WotC still grew in sales during that time frame. So the industry is small enough that WotC doesn't care, but it is broad enough that we can still support local game stores, and I think when WotC goes full digital, you're going to see a lot of people move the other direction. Let's see. Velvet Generation. This looked cute. So imagine like Footloose in 1984, but in modern times, and aliens are visiting. So you're living in a 1984 style world where you've got the Ministry of Music and only certain things are approved, and you're part of that, the Velvet Underground generation that wants to play rock and roll, and now you have aliens that are visiting Earth and helping the underground rockers. So I just thought it was super cute, thought it was pretty neat, and just released. So I'm gonna reach out and see if I can get a copy because it does look kind of neat. See. Oh, so for all those that are watching that don't want to get into the crowdfunding stuff, I know there's a few people that struggled with their wallet because of the crowdfunding. I know library funds got destroyed because we had backed a bunch of stuff. I had paid for most of them out of pocket, and then our backer kit account got all messed up, and I had to make a new backer kit account to contact them to figure out what was going on, and then all of a sudden, like $2,000 in shipping on games. It's like, ow, 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 ow. Okay, Hellborn. So this is a game coming out of Athens, Greece, which I think is cool. So Hellborn is a tabletop RPG that allows you to live your mercenary fantasies in a cyberpunk hell. I don't know if we're taking that literally as like hell, but it's cyberpunk, or if it's a cyberpunk world that is a hellscape. So, 2 created, 0 backed. Usually, that one really intrigues me because usually they'll get to one, couple backed before they get to their second. So, Hellborn is a rules medium tabletop RPG. There's one that we haven't heard. Because hey, here's my role-playing game, and here's my rules light stuff. Rules medium. Set in a futuristic, technologically ascended version of Hell. Okay. Where players take on a role of demonic mercenaries trying to survive a mass wealth, fame, and power, through their daring feats and the jobs they undertake. Okay, this actually really sounds neat now. Hellborn system is one created by both veterans and catered to both veterans and new players alike, with a simple yet deep system that aims to enforce the rule of cool and makes players feel like badasses, similar to games like Disco Elysium and various games that use Powered by the Apocalypse system. The book includes over 100 pages of content for DMs and players alike. Over 200 supernatural abilities and perks that players can mix and match to create characters with truly unique arsenals. Setting is inspired by games, films, and shows such as Blade Runner, Cyberpunk 2077. Why wouldn't they just mention Cyberpunk, the role-playing game? Vampire the Masquerade Bloodlines, Altered Carbon, Lucifer, and Chainsaw Man. The book itself boasts 91 pages of lore detailing everything from demonic species that inhabit hell to their current culture and expansive history that spans over 10,000 years. Interesting. I'm very intrigued by this. I need to see if I can get these guys on and chat with them. Let's see, $29 gets you. I really hate how these are. Okay, so $29 gets you the digital version of the book, a thank you, and their eternal gratitude. I love eternal gratitude is listed as a quantity. Greater Demon, physical only. You get their eternal gratitude, your thank you, and you get the physical version of the book. Then you go up to, for $17 more, you get both the digital and physical. And then Archdemon. Your act patri will go to get yourself and fellow Infernalist a digital version of your. Oh, so for $73 you get the physical book and 2 digital versions. Interesting. That's an intriguing way to do it. But they've made their goal, and they've still got 12 days to go. I'm going to reach out to these guys. Let's see. Tome of Intrigue and Options. I talked about this one last week. So this is an add-on. So Basic Action Games released Honor Plus Intrigue, a cinematic standalone swashbuckling RPG that is built from the same streamlined engine as Barbarians of Luminaria Sword and Sorcery. So this is a supplement for the Honor Plus, the swashbuckling supplement for Honor and Intrigue. It's much harder to say. Well, they were looking for 1,000 or 4,000, and we'll check in on them again in a couple weeks. Oh, hey, got a new follow. Thank you. PyDub314. Does somebody like math? Let's see. Slash! Just launched this week. I kind of dig the art style. It's very neat. So, Slash, the horror movie RPG. Take on a classic horror movie archetype as you fight to escape a deadly killer in the high-stakes tabletop RPG. This is a setting that's been tried a few times, and it's one of those ones, it's been done okay over the years. Just like most horror games, it really depends on having the right setting and a really good GM. Oh, come here, guy. Oof. Say hello, Nunzio. Roar. Giant beast. That's a nipple in my... That's a claw in my nipple. Oh. Okay, you gotta be somewhere else? Okay, so... yes. Well, when he's licking... no licking the wires. Yes, we call the wires around the house kitty licorice because he likes to lick them. He'll chew at them, like he doesn't like chew through them. Like he'll just like kind of give him a little gnaw, but for the most part, he licks cables and then the canvas straps on bags. He will sit there and lick the canvas strap on a bag for a while. His brother did the same. His brother was less about the wires and way more about the canvas straps. I went to pick up my backpack one time, and Guido, was Nunzio's brother, had actually made the straps. Went to adjust my backpack, and he's I was like, oh god, my straps are wet. Just as I tightened them, just squeegeed out cat saliva. I was like, oh no, I'm just gonna carry my bag. Okay, let's see what funding's like on Slash. $10 gets you PDF. $19 gets you the PDF plus playtest guide and all scenarios PDFs. That's cool. $39. Let's see if this is open. No, it's still open. Gets you the hardcover plus all the scenarios in PDF. Nice. $39 is not bad. 42 gets you hardcover plus all scenarios. Oh, so that's the non-early bird. And then a full package. Let's see. That gets you the hardcover, casting cards deck, custom dice set, three bonus dice and 3 penalty dice. Let's see if they've got the dice and stuff in here. Nice. Oh, those are all the starring role. They they had 24 of those to go. You get to make a character. I love it when companies add that on. It's like, hey, you can make a character in the game. Oh, so it is fate based. This could be you, the fool. So looks kind of neat. I like some of the stuff they're going with it. Um, and like I said, most horror games really depend on a good GM and a good setting. Six Hack, a dead simple OSR homage to the world's first fantasy role playing game. Uh, Six Hack is a simple. I know this guy. He actually. So little background with James. He actually like buys and sells role playing games. That's how he's a disabled gentleman, and that's how he supplements his income. Is he searches out collections, buys collections, and then he goes through and pieces out to get the parts that people want. And I've picked up some books from him in the past, and he's just thrown extra stuff in every time I've bought something from him. Really good guy. Has been very stand up with the library, and then and a game designer of little tabletop RPGs. So Six Hacks is a simple set of guidelines for role playing in the spirit of the original fantasy RPG in 1974. Pays homage to the classic game, but introduces some modern sensibilities, as well as, for example, it includes a unified action resolution system, a action point economy, templates for creating mutable monsters. Oh, that's cool. An abstract commerce system, until it further includes some tried and true advice for referees referred to as game masters in many systems. Finally, it also kills some of the so-called sacred cows. For example, there are no longer any ability scores for ability score modifiers. Alignments have been replaced with player-defined moral codes. That one's kind of cool. And experience points have been replaced with encounter economy. Some interesting ideas. What it is not. Six Hack is not a beginner's game. So I like it when people are really upfront with that, because everybody wants to make something that's beginner friendly, but sometimes it's not. No matter how hard you try, and sometimes you just want to create something that, hey, this isn't your first game. I need you to have played some RPGs before you jump into this. That's kind of cool. It doesn't spend time discussing basic role playing concepts. That's great because he can cut out several pages of explanations that people should understand by the time they come to an advanced game. It's not an equipment depot. Equipment is largely a narrative concept with few notable exceptions. It is not a detailed simulation of reality. As noted above, it also doesn't provide detailed rules for every situation that may arise during play. Most important, however, this isn't a new game. It's just a new way to play a game that's been around since 1974. There are 3 classes: if human, fighting man, magic user, rogue, and 3 races: if not human, dwarf, elf, and Uyen. Hey there, Uyen. Because, legally we can't call them hobbits. I'm going to have to get a hold of James and say, hey, I would like to know more. Maybe get him on. So, $2 gets you into the working draft. $10 at this period, you get the immediate access to the latest fully playable working PDF of Six Hacks, minus the mini setting and introductory adventure, as soon as the Kickstarter is successfully funds, and you get access to the final PDF version of Six Hacks with the mini setting, introductory adventure, and professional quality artwork and eye-pleasing layout when that is complete. And that's it. Just $2 gets you in the, you can look what we're doing, and $10 gets you the full thing. we gotta see if we can get them to eat $100 goal. But I mean, at $10 a pop, that's a long ways to go. We talked to these guys, a couple of the team for last night. So they weren't funded last night. Woke up this morning and they had funded. So either they got the word out or we got the word out. I'm just gonna say, hey, they crossed the line after they interviewed with us. Actually, that's happened a few times. It's funny. We'll get like 10 people to view the episode, and then all of a sudden, just 50 new backers. I'm like, did we just hit them at the right time, or do we actually have a larger group of people that pay attention to what we do? What I like, so they've got a lot of great art. They do have a really cool set because they use 1492. The Pope at the time is Alexander the Sixth, the Borgia. So you've got the Borgia going on. Italy is just nothing but city-states. So your player could be backed by the church, could be backed by a wealthy family in one of the city-states, could be coming out of the Holy Roman Empire, which is basically just a massive city-states that became Germany and Austria and the like, and parts of Poland. There's some really, like, if you're a history nerd, there's some really, really cool stuff. And one of the other things I loved is they went through and they found all the art and everything that inspired them, and then they got new art made. Like, all the art is new art for the game, and none of it is recycled Renaissance era art, which is really cool. And they've got a sizable team as well. So, and they're doing Roll20 stuff as well. Their minis, they were saying they were getting beat up over the cost of 20 euros for the minis, but they're nice minis and they go along with the game. Okay, that's stretch goal. So, Melina is we were going to chat with her, but she wasn't available. But she's the main author, and then we chatted with Michael and Andreas, developers, publishers, editors, and so she's the main author, and then these three gentlemen help like flesh out the world and everything. They've got 3 different illustrators, layout. Heather is. We love Heather. So Heather is her and her husband are the brainchildren behind Ninth Level Games. I don't know how she has time to help other people with stuff, because the amount of stuff that Ninth Level's constantly doing is amazing. We'll see them here. I'll get to say hi to Heather in person at Gen Con. Gen Con's coming up. Ooh. And then they got their proofreader, and this is the one I like. They have a historical advisor. They actually got a historian to come in and help them make sure that they weren't twisting or tormenting the world too much. So one of the things they were talking about is, yes, you could be a magic user, and when you're in hell or in heaven, you can use your magic. But if you're on Earth, you have to be very careful with the magic you use, because the church controls. They will come. So it's like in Star Wars, during A New Hope, during the original trilogy era. If you were a Jedi and you whipped out you start doing stuff and get noticed, all the Empire's going to crack down on you and find you and take care of you. Well, in this world, the church knows magic exists. Many priests are magic users, and they police the people using magic. Yes, witch, exactly. I mean, do you want to deal with an organization that could call you a witch? So, really think this is cool. I'm excited about it. I have backed it with my own money, so I think it's gonna be cool. And it's a time period that most people don't do much with. We do a lot of medieval era stuff, and we'll do some modern stuff. We'll do futuristic stuff. We've got the the Sword and Sandal. We've got the sword, or the stone and sorcery stuff. But like the Renaissance era is a really fascinating period of time. We do have a lot of historical documents. We know a lot about what happened during that time frame. But I don't know why we just. I mean, maybe it's because we do know so much about what went down that we just don't do much in that area. And I think it's super cool. Rectify, another friend of the library. So this is Chris Shepperson. Works on all kinds of stuff. He worked on Slay Industries 2. He put out Gaia's Legal. Why can I never remember the name of his freaking Gaia Complex? I can only ever remember Gaia. So put out Gaia Complex, really cool D12 based cyberpunk game, and he released an expansion for it. Kendo Koala is adorable. It's made it to a couple events already, and people have been enjoying it. So this is Rectify. It is a solo horror RPG. So I'm hopefully gonna have him on this weekend. We should be chatting with him on Sunday. I gotta reach out and double check. So, I think I have somebody on tomorrow. Oh, trying to do all this stuff by myself again, and things are slipping through the crack. You can never be a one-man army. I don't care what the old army slogan, the army of one. No, nobody's an army of one. We will have a chat about what. Well, so he says it is very. It's definitely a not a game that you'll whip out and play in public. Has been his description of it. So $8 gets you the PDF. $21 gets you the print version of the journal, and $37 gets you the hardback version. Let's see. Wastelands, the Dreaming Age role-playing game. So they want 18,000. They're at 10. They got 9 days to go. Tabletop RPG of cosmic horror, swords and sorcery, and a savage lost epoch where you play out the birth of the gods of the ancient myth. Interesting. Wasted Lands. $15 for a digital copy. $40 gets you all the digital stuff. $45 gets you print and digital. And it's not a full-size book. It's like a 3/4 size book. It's an oddball size. And Birth of the Gods, all in. Gets you hardcover print edition, Wasted Lands Gazetteer, and campaign guide. Hardcover print. Let's see, hardcover print edition of that. The campaign guide in hardcover gets you the Digital Age Dreaming digital copy, the Gazetteer and campaign guide in digital, the GM screen inserts digital, GM inserts at cost print on demand code, fold out poster map of Dreaming Age by Meloria Henning, and the digital poster. Oh geez, and they got the collector's leather edition. Do they have a picture of the leather edition? I always like to see the different covers. So, Ogres is the house system for Elf Lair Games project, debuting in our Night Shift Veterans of the Supernatural Wars role-playing game. So it uses their own D20 style system. And it doesn't look like they have a picture of the hardcover. Somebody we love. So, he's funded in one day. Drinking Quest, Belch of the Wild. So this will be their 7th game for Drinking Quest. It is a pseudo RPG that you drink while you play. So he donated a couple of their 6-packs. So you have a character sheet for your character. And you have cards, and you play out a basically GM list drinking game RPG. And this is the 7th, and they're all standalone. So, and none of them are solo games. No, you cannot drink alone. I will say that they are sexy Cthulhu. Oh, the wiener holder. The reverse mermaid. The games are hilarious. Watch me, I'll have a solo version out soon. I guess you could play. Jason is a hoot. He's given us a couple copies of the 6-pack. This is the 7th or 6th expansion, base game plus 6 expansions now. Belch loudly, $25 American, get you the game. Then $65 Canadian, $50 American, get you. Let's see. Get the physical game plus a large neoprene playmat. That'd be a good idea. Card sleeves with artwork on the back and a transparent pillow. A cheap. Oh my God! Does he have pictures of this stuff in here? If Belch Deluxe, there you can get a bottle opener. You get the mat. You get card sleeves. There's the Drinking Quest 6-pack plus the new Belch of the Wild. Oh, this is the special edition. Oh, the special edition 6-pack. Because if you are a huge nerd like me, you utterly recognize that from an old X-Men comic. So it was Wolverine and I think Kitty Pryde, and then it had all the mutants had been hunted down. It's a very, very famous cover. So, stretch goals. Everyone gets a die-cut reverse mermaid sticker at 130%. New signature drink called Shalina at 140. Spot gloss on cover highlights all the butts. And then at 500 shares, everyone gets a sexy Cthulhu reclining and holding a tray of cocktail weenie sticker. Optional add-ons are offered after backing. Your friend is sad. Hack a tiny card game. Reap. So, Drinking Quest 6-pack. Most of these are for lower prices than retail as a bundle discount. But these are a ton of fun. Like I said, the library's got a couple copies. We're trying to see if we can do some gaming after the dark, and if people can bring in their own beer to play the game with. Let's see. What's new is old is a starter box set, fantasy, modern, sci-fi, tabletop RPG. Gorgeous box set for this flexible tabletop RPG with rulebook, adventures, characters, posters, maps, tokens, and an open license. So this is from so Ian Publishing, and then you got the any awards. They're actually a fairly large like news site within gaming. They're one of the few reliable tabletop news sites. But they are publishing what's old is new role playing system, and this is their starter box set. Wow, they're doing well. They were looking, so I think they're based out of the UK, so they should be wanting everything in pounds. They were wanting 5,000. They're at almost 27,000 pounds, so doing well. And they've put out a bunch of old stuff, or they've put out a bunch of stuff over the years. A lot of it is they've done really well. So you can guarantee that this is going to get produced and sent to you. So let's see, $14 gets you the PDF version. Let's go to the $32 gets you gets you the starter set. That's not bad. $32 gets you the starter set and then digital stuff. The full thing in PDF is $66. That's the retailers bundle. Don't care about retailers. The full course set of books, so $158, gets you the starter set, and all three of the books in hardcover and PDF, and then you get all the virtual tables. So that's a little. I hope those books are big. They give me everything PDF. Everything PDFs are for every book in the. So the what's old is new is a system they've had for a little while. So, and then $400 gets you the everything physical. So it's that's all the digital stuff. Don't care about the digital. Where's the physical? So Zeitgeist, an island at the axis of the world. Aeon's PDF collection. Okay, so the what's old is new starter set. Old, new, and now hardcover books. Dark Decade, From Dusk to Dawn. Galactic Sentience Catalog. Solo Space, The Spartan Gambit. Santiago, The Myth from Far Future. Spires in the Sky. Spirits of Manhattan. Starship Construction Manual. Starships Recognition Manual. The Code of Honor Trilogy. Holds of Vendilar. Moons of Borea. So you can see they've been doing this system for a while. They're just doing a nice update to the core system. And let's see. Long Shot City. Superhero tabletop RPG powered by Troika. I just want to play, the Tetris song in my head after that. What is Long Shot City? Long Shot City is a superheroic role-playing game where you and your team of baddie-bashing buddies kick 7 shades of justice out of the world-ending villains, all in a lavishly illustrated 70-page hardcover. With just this book and a couple of 6-sided dice, you'll be able to provide years of comic book adventures for you and your friends. Long Shot City. The place is a dangerous town, and the players are protecting it. Build your own hero team from selection of archetypes and origins, covering almost anything you can think of. Are you a trenchcoat mage who got their powers from being sucked into a work of fiction? Or maybe you are a parasite power suit from outer space. And if your imagination is bigger than one book, fear not. There are simple guidelines on how to make more. Rules are based on the classic, tried and tested scientific fantasy RPG, Troika! So you know it's good. $18 gets you the digital. $35 gets you the book. $100 gets you 4 copies of the book. That's $10 off of each book. $113 gets you the box set. the book, the PDF, the DM screen, NPC tarot cards, bookmarks, character sheets, dice, paper miniatures, I love paper miniatures, and a token bag. Then you can do the Sentinel Squadron bundle. So you get the box set, all the cool stuff, and then you get 3 core books that you can hand out to other people sitting at the table. You can do for $436. Everybody gets their own box set. So it does look cute. I have not played the Troika system yet. They're killing it. So 31,000 out of looking for a little over 5,000 goals. So they're doing well. And they've got 59 hours to go. So, want to give a shout out to our friends at Story Engine. Their Lore Masters deck, and they're doing great. They've got 4 days left. They're $376,000. They've been at this for a little while. Their Story Engine stuff is great. I keep saying I'm going to pull it out and do something on stream with it, and it's going to be one of my first streams back after Gen Con, is doing some cool stuff with the Story Engine stuff. I really love what they've done over there. Gloomhaven. Let me refresh this, because I think they have fewer than... Yeah, they've got 46 hours left. They're at $4.2 million. But it is RPG and board game sales mixed into one. It is it's a fairly good-sized IP within the tabletop community. But yes, you can get the role-playing version or the second edition of Gloomhaven, or boatloads of minis. Wish I had the funds to really back to get the cool all-in role-playing game thing for the library. Let's see. And Homestead Creature Handbook. This one looked adorable as could be. I don't think it's going to make it. They're looking for 5,000 euros. They're at 2,200 euros. They've got a couple days left. It's just a nice little... It's less about the monsters and everything that you're going to run into, and more about the cool world building stuff that you'll run into. So I hope that they are not discouraged because they have other products already. I just think maybe it's kind of hitting at the wrong time. Humble Bundle has a really badass bundle right now. So, classic Swords and Sorcery Tabletop RPG book bundle. So it's $65 for 55 items, and one of them is a physical copy of Monstrosities. So that is Frog God Games. They're a local company to us. They brought out their Monstrosities. So you've got the Rapin Athkuk Reloaded from 2006. Tomes of Artifacts. Pulp Fantastic for Savage Worlds. The Rapin Athkuk map book. Encounter tables, treasure tables, Dark Streets, Darker Secrets. Running Out of Time, a cyberpunk survival RPG. Shepherd's Bane. It is you can figure out it's a werewolf game. The Time a Tree Saved Me. This is for Gangbusters, and the Gangbusters core rulebook is in there. So Gangbusters was put out by competitor TSR back in the day, and it's been revamped into an OSR style. So, welcome to Rock Junction. Let's see, Heresy of Rot, Ancient Kingdoms of Mesopotamia, Fungus God from Outer Space, Six Spheres of Xanthus, Dead Man's Chest, Elemental Moon, Tome of Horrors 3. This is for D20. City Excursions, Off the Beaten Path. Off the Beaten Path, Mountain Excursions. Joe's Diner. This is for Gangbusters as well. The Dead Are Coming. Hell Comes to Bogtown. It's joking about one of my favorite movies, Hell Comes to Frogtown. Demon Heart. Eldritch Sorcery. Hell of the Rainbow Mage. Hall of the Rainbow Mage. Sherwood, The Legend of Robin Hood for Sword and Sorcery. That is a Sword and Sorcery is a specific game put out by Frog God. Gary Gygax's Necropolis for Sword and Sorcery. See, The Lost City of Brachus for D20. Coils of Set. The Vault of Larencar. Tome of Horrors 2. Tome of Horrors 1 Revised Edition. A Family Affair. Let's see. Blades of Death. The Dooms of Littenshire. The Bone Garden. Sorry. The Diamond Fortress. Trouble of Durbanford. Desert Excursions for Off the Beaten Path. Aberrations. The Lamentations of Thieves. Fane of the Witch King. Gangbusters. The Usual Suspects. This is the NPC card set number 2. Book of Taverns. There's so much stuff. Chaos Rising. I wanted to pick this up recently. It looks really neat. Off the Beaten Path Excursions for Forest Excursions. War of the Magi. And then the Gangbusters BX version. So this is your basic rules for Gangbusters, and there's a bunch of Gangbuster stuff in there. So $65 gets you a boatload of PDFs of all kinds of stuff, and the Monsters physical copy. So Frog God Games, great company, ton of experience from the staff over there, some amazing people over there. And let's go over to our last page. This is what we end on each week. So this ends in 18 minutes. Oh, geez. Warlock collection. So $13 gets you Warlock Trader's Edition. Rules light, grim, and nasty old school British role playing. Warlock Compendium 3. 3 Warlock sourcebooks. Kingdom, Rebec, and Buccaneer. And then you get, for $25, you get all the core stuff, plus you get the Warp Star and the 4 Warp Star supplements. So it's the same system, but in sci-fi. And this is a rules light take on Warhammer Fantasy and Warhammer 40K. If you weren't able to figure that out. Let's see. Root. 2 weeks left on Root, so for $15, you get the Root role-playing game, Travelers and Outsiders, Root Clearing Book, and 4 Root Quick Start sets. The Root Quick Start, Bitterman's Cove, Pelninckley Glade, and Talon Hill. So $15, it gets you into Root, and Root is a really great system. A lot of people love it. Magpie Games uses their Apocalypse engine, or uses the Apocalypse engine, and same company that put out the new Avatar game. Let's see. Still have not looked into this software. So $30 gets you 3 keys for the pro license of making this, and then if you go up to $41.41, you get the 11 hex map icon sets, and talked to a couple people that have used it, and they said it's great especially if you're going to be making hex crawl stuff. So maybe I'll look into it. I don't know. It's got a week left, and then let's see, Glenn Cook, 2 days left. $8 gets you Dead Empire, A Cruel Wind, and 4 Glenn Cook standalone novels. Okay, I think these are all novels. Oh, interesting. And then if you go up to $26.50, you get all these books. So 5 books for then the $26.50 gets you 6 book 2 through 4 of Dread Empire, Dark War Trilogy, so 3 more books, Starfisher's Trilogy, 3 more books, and a Passage at Arms. So you get a bunch of books. I suck at reading books nowadays because most everything I read is RPGs. Novels are solo RPGs. That you just don't have choices, right? Yes. Well, so I joke that the most basic RPG we can play is a choose your own adventure, and the precursor to those is telling stories around the campfire. So yes, this is if you can get really drawn into good books, they are your most they're definitely a solo RPG on rails. I'm gonna start describing all books that way. Oh well, I was looking through this solo RPG, but it's a solo RPG on rails. I mean, it's well written, but you just don't have any choices in it. Oh, the silly things we think of. Okay, this is Legendary Begins. It is $15, and you get Trail of the Apprentice includes the image cards, a Feast of Flavor includes the 5e Pursuit and Quest decks, Into the Feywild, explore the fairy forest, Crisis at Falling Spring Station, Monsters on the March. So I have known nothing of this system. This one just came up this week. So all new Legendary 5e bundle features Legendary Beginnings, line of all ages tabletop fantasy adventures from Legendary Games for Dungeons & Dragons 5th edition and compatible rule systems. So it is a world built for all ages. Oh, we have Trail of the Apprentice in the library. This was donated to us by Legendary Games. So we have a physical copy of this. Let's see. Well, it has been fun chatting with everybody, and we've made it through news. We've made it through a whole bunch of interesting Kickstarters, and looked at the Paizo working with Mirrorscape in augmented reality tabletop gaming. So if it gets more people into playing RPGs, I love it. I do find it awkward that everybody's got to have phone or tablet to play, but hey, we can always have new ways to play. So hope everyone had a great time tonight, and just to let everybody know, Wednesday we hopefully will be gaming. I've got a chat with some GMs here in about 20 minutes about events coming up, and I've got Gen Con coming up. So talk to you all soon, but now the library is closed, and I really do need to come up with an outro.